let's meditate, and that's what we're going to do. Oh, let's get music. Okay. Okay, we'll do, this is supposed to be meditation music, so see how good this is.
Washington is saddled, Nevada.
All right. Okay. Here we go. We are going to meditate. So let's imagine the ball of white or whatever color you want. Mine's going to be purple at the end of your feet, and it's going to relax our feet. So take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and let's relax your bodies. And then the ball goes over both our feet and lower legs and relaxes them, both our legs and relaxes them, our chest and relaxes that, our arms, both our arms and both our hands and our neck and relaxes that, and relaxes our head, tethers itself to our feet and goes deep down into the earth and down deep into that earth it goes, and it sucks up all that delicious love and puts it in our feet and fills our feet up, and then puts it in both of our lower legs, both of our upper legs, our chest, both our arms and both our hands and our neck and our head, and spews out and then goes all over to Pahrump, and then we take the rest and put it into our heart, and we say 3 ums. All right, so we did our 3 ums and we're good to go. And so anyway, today I've been doing laundry and getting packed up. I had to take my suitcase. It's so huge, I had to take it in my other room that I have a queen size bed to lay it out, because it takes literally the whole bed of mine, and I need to sleep. So I am packing up now and getting ready to leave for California. And I'm very excited. I really am. So anyway, I've been making a mental note what I need to get, what else, so I can more or less have a good time and make sure I have everything all set. So anyway, I got a bruise there, looks like. Or is it over here? Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a pretty big bruise. Ooh. So anyway, I have been I took a nap because I just felt tired and I didn't, you get kind of stressed and stuff. So for me, I just took a nap and I will finish up what I need to today, which is to get majority of my stuff ready to go. Now, my second suitcase, which is my coffin, I'm going to put my shoes in, and then I got to get my toiletries ready to go. So I can go there with confidence, but I also have to get some big Ziploc baggies because that's how I do it. I put all my toiletries in Ziploc, so if they spill, I don't have to worry about it ruining someone's car or my own or whatever is thought of. So here we go. So that's where I go with that. Okay. It looks like people are slow to go. I did put another, I guess you would say, a notification. I need to plug in another item. Can you do it? Yeah. So, you can looks like I have to unplug this. So anyway, what has happened is I have gotten my nails done, both even my toenails, and enjoying the fact that I am going to work hard on different areas of my life, and I am feeling very hopeful for everything. I ask the angels to help me in all they can, and I'm just hoping everything will work out. There we go. Oh boy. I still have some people um, contacting me at, wow. And I'm wondering why. So I wonder if maybe they're contacting me, and if they're contacting me because they feel that I'm still, out there looking for somebody. I have no idea. But I had a, contact from someone I used to work with. That's what it was. And what happened was he had asked me how I was doing, and I never answered him back. Today he had just contacted me and said, "Hey, how you doing? Want to get together?" Or he just said, "How am I doing? Hey, how are you?" And then, "How am I doing?" And I'm like, well, I come to the thing, I think it's because he wants a booty call, and that's really what it is. And I do want to give back his knife, but I can do that through somebody else or have somebody drop it off for him. I just uh, I just rather have a relationship than a booty call. And it got to the point where that's all the guys were calling me booty calls. And I'm like, I want a relationship. I want to be able to be the one to get a phone call once a day or more, or a text message, and a relationship where we go on dates, where we, pretty much get to know each other as a couple, not somebody who is coming over for extra bootylicious time. And that's what I want to avoid. So it's again, I get put in the fourth line, or put in the front line of what do I want in the long run and what do I want in the short run. The short run, I'm going to have to pack up my shit and get going. The long run is that yeah, I'm amorous and all that stuff, but I buy stuff to take care of that. I got, battery, rechargeable stuff that will work out the same way. I don't want to put what I have already worked so hard, you know? I mean, it that person has come in between me and somebody else, and it caused a lot of um, it caused a lot more problems than help. It's not worth to throw away a great relationship so I can have my booty call. It really isn't worth it. I thought, any time you see, how can I say this? My family's intuitive. I kind of had my powers on pause for about 32 years. And now they have come back, as they say. Maybe I'm around positivity. Well, recently, last year, I made a mistake in a relationship, even though I knew, in my gut, I was feeling it was a wrong thing. I should have just said, look, I reached out to you in April, but and you're getting back to me in May. I'm sorry, but I can't have this relationship. I'm just going to wait it out. Something else is brewing, and whatever, would have been fine, but I would have had a great relationship with somebody who I'm trying again. And this time, again, I have that same person contacting me, and I'm going, nope, nope, I'll just let that sit. Nope, mm-mm, because I'm not going to, no, it's not worth it. I didn't listen to my intuitive side because I was going, no, it wouldn't turn out. No, no. I was wrong as trying to connect with my, I guess you would say, intuitive abilities, to have those abilities and to trust them is different a lot of times than when you always had that ability and didn't use it. And what I found out is when you're intuitive, sociopaths love you. Oh my God, we are like food to them. Do you know that? Psychic people and sociopaths usually intertwine in some way or fashion because this is my whole feeling. This is how I feel. When you, like, I was married to a sociopath who's been very lackluster. Yeah. When you've been with a sociopath, they tend to feed off your psychic ability. That's where you have the inability to go to sleep. You have the inability to sometimes think straight. You have these weird inabilities that happen. And what had transpired after that was the fact that I no longer felt like myself. I have realized that people who are intuitive, like my father, he had my mom. She was a sociopath. Hello, it is an attraction. Now, my dad and I never talked about it, but I always felt that way, considering that my brother is a sociopath and he's a worker. Well, kind of. He's been trying to get into Hollywood for years. And with Dr. Drew, oh, he is a sad case. Then there's when you're dealing with certain things and you wonder why they're happening. Ask protection from any angel out. Okay, from Metatron, they have Uriel, Michael, Gabriel. I mean, those are just a couple throwing them out there and ask for protection from that person, or any, like, say, I'm thinking of this person, I don't know their name, but I heard they're doing this and this. Just ask protection, because the best protection from a sociopath, anybody who is just an evil whatever, ask for help. That's what the angels are for. That's what, I was told. So you have relationship issues, or you can't meditate, you don't know how to do that, or you're in that point in your life where you don't know what to do, but you're unhappy where you're at, and you've been in a relationship for, God, it could be 3 months, it could be under a year. And when you're dealing with a relationship you're unhappy with, you have to walk away from it. I mean, I know how it is. I tried twice. And sometimes you have to make a plan and work with other people, and sometimes you make a plan by yourself. I made a plan with other people. When you are married, let's say you're married for a long time like me, I couldn't just leave my house, even though I did, well, I did for a certain amount of time, because of the fact that I wanted, and let's just be honest, I really, every time I turned around, I had to fix that. When my ex told me that we should get, and I agreed, because I wanted the house done. So this was his promise to me, okay, because he did not plan to do the house. He loved to live like Sanford and Son. I really believe that. But he got me to get a Comex box, railroad box. And the first one ended up being from a fake website, believe it or not. Well, we're going to send it, Well, 2 weeks later, when they didn't send it, I had the bank go. It wasn't a week, it was a week later. And they gave me back my money. I turned around, bought another one, and they delivered it. And that was it. Right? Well, he took a bunch of my stuff. I should have taken it, and put it, but he said, well, he had stated that it would just be here. Well, the thing is, it's been here, and he hasn't opened up the comics box. Like a friend of mine said, if you know he's gone somewhere, see if you can open the lock and put your own lock on and be able to take out what you need. Uh, and I agreed. What transpired is my ex has literally not given me my personal property or anything it's my stuff, because he wants to hold on to me. He actually said to a friend, he thinks I'm wanting him back because I'm not having any men over, and he doesn't know the whole situation. So I'm going, wow, I don't want nothing to do with him. But a sociopath is not there mentally to go, okay, my ex may not want me no more, even though she is not dating someone that he could see. Like a friend of mine said, to their ex, who was a little bit less mental, but said, hey, maybe I am dating someone you just don't know, and I'm not letting you in on it. And that could be it too. Because a lot of times, a lot of people will construe stuff, and sociopath seems to be the best for making up shit, because boy, I was blamed for a lot of shit I didn't do. So anyway, I am going to get my rest of my stuff packed in it, and I am going to. What's cool is I even have like a laundry bag that's came with my new suitcase. Like I said, I haven't bought a suitcase in a long time. I haven't had my nails done in forever, and I really do believe that people should take care of their feet. We should take care of it better. So if you want to take care of your feet good, take care of it with this. All right. So here we are. It is a beautiful day. Well, evening. Let me see. Well, I like to. Some of the people. So, anyway, I have come to the conclusion. I was looking on things that people were saying, in the past. I think it's wonderful when a person finds somebody, but be very careful. And this is what I tell people now. And I've been, to that point where if I dated someone I didn't know, I would give it 3 months before I go to bed with them. Because once you go to bed, it's like you got this connection and it's like the forever. So I'm waiting and being very, very patient. And I can only be, I mean, come on. Jeez. I have a certain person from the past who I used to work with, and they messaged me, but I didn't message them back. I know who it is. Mm-mm-mm. There we go. So it looks like I'm gonna let you guys go. Well, I'll stay a whole hour. Fuck it. You know, maybe I'll get a special surprise from a visitor, but if it not, he got busy. There's a lot of stuff to do, and I don't expect him to come on every night. He came on when I least expected, and it was when I really needed to feel validation. He really did. And I love him for that. He's a beautiful human being. Certain people in my life, oh, I have, I have really wanted to be free of my problem. When you're with a sociopath, they don't think you or how you feel, or if you're in love with them. They don't give a shit. If you're in love with them, they will, tell you lies that if you don't love them, you can walk away from that situation. And that's just was not the case. I tried to get divorced twice, two other times, and it just didn't work out. So I came to the point I would have to do it without him being near his family, making a some kind of plan, and I had to. If I didn't have a plan, my ex would still be married to me, and he considers, all right, he considers whatever happens in a divorce, whoever wins or loses. I didn't win nothing except my freedom. I was not the winner. He stroked my ass through the coals and I'm still picking him out. Because look I still have to deal with him in my varsity jacket, my other things that I have, and my photos. So when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't care about a person, who doesn't care about only themselves and uses their children to pawn them out and says all kinds of stuff that's really mean, even though that he feels he's doing good, it's not. And he had told a lie to someone I worked with. And I said, "Excuse me, did you tell them how I got that job?" "Oh, you didn't tell him how I got that you knew the guy?" And the guy ended up hating him. I worked a job at a bar, and it was called the Silver Cricket over in Michigan. And he knew the owner. It was during, I'd say, the early 2000s. It was the late 90s. That's what it was. They were doing great financially and everything. They were doing bang up. His son, who was around my age, who had no idea about business, I pulled him aside and said, "You need to either make another small boob bar. That's what your father's giving you. Your own business," is what I told him. "He wants you to have your own bar. So make it, and make it like this one, but a little bit different." He went, and this is back when the rave thing came out. And I said, "That's just a flash in the pan. They're going to have it for a bit, but because it's such a huge thing, it's going to stay out west and get popular there." And it did. But he didn't make the good decision. And what happened was he lost his ass. And I told him, I pulled him aside. "You're around my same age. Your dad's giving you," and I remember telling him this, "the opportunity to start on your own." And it's funny how some people don't get that opportunity to either have their own business or do all that. And they're really bad in decision making, just like the guy who got that Mexican restaurant here. We got a new one, and I'm just kind of like, wow, we have a lot of Mexican restaurants already. Why add another one, you know, off what I call the restaurant row in Pahrump? We needed a Panera bread because a lot of people love Panera. Panera does a lot more for the community. They reach out, like their old bread gets given to certain community things. They do a lot for the poor as for that. And I just like them. Oh, I got so fat off Panera bread. It wasn't funny because I used to be so broke, and I knew where they used to give it to this one place. They don't give it to, they give their bread a little bit here, a little bit there. Everybody gets a little bit. They don't want a certain place to feel that they're getting it. But boy, did I love it. There was a Christmas that we were very broke. And I'm going to say that was the only one that my ex was actually working. It was because we were paying such a high bill for our house because they kept raising the rates. So let's talk about how to protect yourself when you even feel that you have someone who's either negative, hurting your livelihood, as backstabbing. I would say if they're hurting your livelihood and backstabbing you, and they're acting nice like sheep's in wolf and sheep clothing. This is what we do. You pick out an angel name. You can look it up online. You can put archangel names. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put archangel names. So this is what we'll do. Archangel names. Well, we got 12 archangel names. So let's see what this says. Oh, God. One of those. Archangel names. We got Uriel, Azrael, Gabriel, Regul. Here's 20 more. Michael, Raphael, Jophel, Shemel, Sarkiel, Jemiah, Raziel, Sandalphon, Archiel, Metadron, Hanel, Ezekiel, Jergadrel, Ramel, and that's about it. So, what you know, when you have those angel names, you can look them up on the internet. It doesn't matter which one is. If you got a connection and you like a certain angel, call that angel and say, hey, angel that I'm calling you, archangel, please help me from dealing with this person. Please protect me from them sucking me dry. And yeah, there are what I consider emotional vampires. Those are the ones when they're going through a hard thing. You know, it's how can I say, most people can deal with stress, but they over exaggerate to the point where it will make them, oh, I'm having this problem. Oh, and they put their kids out there and they do all that. And then they put their thing as being worse than what it is. And in reality, you have to really say, angel, angel, let me see what is before me. More or less, just ask an angel, hey, angel, help me from this person, from people. It's good to just say, ask your angel to help from protection from sociopaths and people who are taking advantage of you so you can see what they are doing. And it's a great protection. I wish I would have done that when I was dating my ex. I would have never married him. It would have never happened because I was getting ready to drop his ass. I was getting ready to move to California and leave his ass as far as I can leave it. Unfortunately, I had just lost a friend with cancer, and I thought, well, maybe it's going to, take him too. Well, it didn't. In fact, my ex has used cancer. Every time I turned around, I have a text message stating he thought he was going to die of cancer, and I better run back to his ass because there's nothing like a lying sociopath the second time, or even recently the third time, because he said he had ass cancer. Now that's what he said. I yelled back, I only pray and hope so. Now he hasn't said nothing about cancer because, well, let's just be honest. I don't give a flying fuck if he died of cancer. I don't mean to sound that way, but he just won't leave me alone and won't give my stuff back to me. So that's where I'm at. Well, we're at 33 minutes. So we have talked about how to, protect yourself from having a sociopath or any crazy whack job that wants to be attracted to you. If you happen to be an intuitive person, they love intuitive person. That's feed for the sociopath who has to put their kids out there. My mom loved to do that until I was 8 and I started telling people what my mom was doing in using them. That was what she did. She used me and my brother. And then it was only my brother because I started telling people. I would tell people, yeah, she's in the room. She's not talking to anybody. She's not on any phone. She's sitting in the room trying to figure out what to say. And then the people will go and check on it and they'll go, oh. And after a while, she wasn't able to scam people. The reason why she ended up in prison, my mom went to a federal prison for dealing with SNAP, or it would be like federal food benefits, welfare, and she scammed the welfare system. She added extra people that didn't exist. So she was going to go for 12 years. My mother, my birth mother, who did not like to work, was hearing that in the federal prisons that women were raping other women who were good looking. So what happened? She decided to work real hard because she was scared of being raped by other women. Oh yeah, that was her biggest fear. So she worked for 10 years and then let her go early out. I was like so surprised. Yeah, because she was a worker. After being in prison for 10 years working and being scared about being raped by other women, my birth mother became a workaholic. Like my family that I was like floored. Wow, you're actually working, because in the past she didn't like to work and she scammed shitloads of people all the time. She used my brother a lot because after me telling people, "Oh, you're being scammed," it's not a cool thing. So, what transpired in this was that she went to prison for 10 years. They actually, this is the first time I heard of it, but they let her out 2 years early, but she had to, check in and all that stuff. Yeah, and that's unheard of. She was so scared of being, she would say, "I was just scared of bad things happening to me, period." She said it was really back then. She goes, "It wasn't as regulated as it is now." And she became a hard worker. My joke was, "Well, you're not just a bitch. You're rich with money." But that's how it went. She became a worker and became the woman with money, and that's just the way it was. My She didn't offer to, how can I say this? She didn't ask my dad for money because he said that financially because she was exposed to pay out a certain amount of money over the years. A certain amount was supposed to come out of the money from what she had earned from what her working in the prison system. And my dad said, "No, I don't want that. I just, more or less, if he wanted her to be part of our life." And then when she ended up stealing my identity. Let's see, putting my brother in a specialized school because she did a breaking and entering. Oh, she was lovely. So I always said, when I have children, I'm going to have them at least look at me that I'm a hard worker. I may not be this, big YouTuber as of yet or whatever, but at least I'm an honest person. My mom was not someone who I would look at where I could go, "Yeah, I really want to be just like my mom." She was a very mean, evil person, and she never really got nice. I did forgive her, and I forgave her over the phone, and I stated that she knew not, and that she was, in my heart. But as for my real mother who took care of me was my grandma on my dad's side. And she always was there for me. She flew all the way from California to Michigan to just make sure I was doing all right because I told her what was going on. And she was like, "That's not right." So, yeah, I was my grandma's favorite. She said I was a lot like how she was, and how she felt that she had no one and I needed somebody. And that's how I feel. So, when you are dealing with somebody who is being the drama queen to somebody else, you're listening to them and their story. And if you have somebody who's in sheep's clothing, it could be anywhere, it doesn't matter where, and they're acting and they're trying to backstab somebody, think about this. When you're not there, what are they saying about you? Because that's what I had to come through when I dealt with somebody who got hired in last year. And when she was hired in, I thought she was like everybody's girl. Oh yeah, and she was everybody's girl, but I was not. I'm not attracted to females. I'm just, there was no attraction for me as for, in that. and she took it wrong and spread shitloads of rumors about me. It hasn't even stopped. But when you're dealing with that, every day I would say a prayer to angels to protect me because it's worked. I've been protected. I felt all right. But when you have someone you work with that is spreading rumors about somebody, anybody, if they're saying Joe Blow and Janie are hanging out and screwing wherever, and it's like, you know what? If if that's their private life, it's like my dad would used to say, if someone is doing something you feel is morally wrong, then when did you become the moral police? And always listen to your heart and listen to your gut. Because if somebody is coming up to you spreading rumors about somebody else, when will they do it to about you? And that's what really hurt. I realized that I was listening to rumors from this person and I was no better than the rest. So when you have that, it kind of sucks. When you have somebody who is doing, what was it? The wolf in sheep's clothing is what I found out to be. There are people who will sell their soul for a minute on TV or cinema and not care about people. The bad thing is it does work. The good thing is a lot of these people ended up, with stagnated, you know, careers because what they wish for and what they get are two different things. And when you work real hard for what you want to get, a lot of times is a lot more satisfying because you know that you learned on the way. You're not just given something, you learned from what your long walk through. What was it? My dad said, you learn on the way as you go and do what you love to do. So if you're ever in fear or worried, just say that prayer. It should be fine. I guess you can say I've been praying to my angels for years. So I'm going to leave early because I'm almost an hour and I love talking to my friends and stuff, but they just haven't come out to play. So maybe I will do something around 12 or so. I'll just pop on and give out what's going on in my life. Bye. Have a good one.